folks, and welcome to True Crime with a Bad Girl, a Playa and Dangerous Save. I am Benny Scala, a.k.a. The Playa, a.k.a. Betty the Jet. And with me, as always, is my very bad co-host. She is the bomb, and she is Archie's mom. She is the one and only Brittany Brown. Brittany, how are you this cold evening?
Oh, I'm doing okay, but yes, very cold. It is freezing here. I envy your weather in the 30s, believe it or not. And I know that's tough for you.
Yeah, it's really funny, though. Like, people complain here. I said, if you were in Minneapolis and it was 37 degrees, they'd be having a barbecue outside.
Right.
That's all.
I know.
All matter what you're used to.
Yep.
All right. Next, we see a man with many mixed emotions, a very conflicted man, heartbroken over his Pittsburgh Steelers, although I think he's kind of happy the coach is gone. But his heart, although broken, is being healed while in pursuit of his true love, Ari. Dave, did I get all that right?
You did. So, yeah, well, new era in Pittsburgh, time to move on. New era in Buffalo.
Now that you mention that, what is with that? That's ridiculous. That guy was a great coach.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just, the only problem, I don't have a problem with them getting rid of him because I think they've gone as far as they can with him. But the problem I have is they didn't surround Allen with enough talent. So, he doesn't have enough talent around him. So, but other than that, it's cold here in the Northeast and where I am. I had a shovel out today, and as much as I complain about the snow, I wouldn't give up the Four Seasons for anything, but I've had enough. I'm ready for spring, and we have a great show tonight, and I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me.
Amen. All right, well, let's do a couple of quick commercials, and then we can get on with our show. Here we go. True Crime with the Bad Girl, the Playa, and the Stars is brought to you by the Burbrower Law Firm. Folks, if you've been injured in a car accident, please reach out to our good friend Adam Burbrower at the Burbrower Law Firm. Adam and his crew do things the right way with great results. Not only is Adam a great attorney, but the dude has framed pictures of Ernie the Cat Lad, the unpredictable Johnny Rods, and our very own Boston Bad Girl in his office. How cool is that? If you see Adam at the community pool trying to nail that elusive triple Lindy, you'll notice superstar Billy Graham tattooed on his back and Bret the Hitman Hart tattooed on his chest. This guy is not only the man of the hour, the man with the legal power, too sweet to be sour, he is also the excellence of elocution. Besides being a great guy, Adam is a true crime aficionado and an avid WWF historian. Who else can get you a great settlement while breaking down Mario Mancini's greatest matches? Well, that one's a quickie. Check out Adam at burbrowerlaw.com and follow him on Facebook. And don't forget to tell him that the Bad Girl, the Playa, and the Stars sent you. And last but not least, Uncle Dave's Sausage. True Crime with the Bad Girl, the Playa, and the Stars is brought to you by Uncle Dave's Sausage. Are you hungry? Hungry for something thick, juicy, and just a little bit naughty? Introducing Uncle Dave's Sausage, the only meat that knows exactly how to fill your buns. Whether you like it spicy, smoky, or just plain stuffed to the brim, Uncle Dave's got the girth, the girth of flavor you crave. Morning, evening, a quick nibble at 3 a.m. No shame, baby. Uncle Dave's Sausage is served 24/7 at the carnival, where the rides aren't the only things that go up and down. You might have been into fitness, but once you've had the Uncle Dave's experience, the only thing on your mind will be fitting this sausage in your mouth. Slide it between two warm buns, slather it in mayo, or give it a good squirt of mustard if you're feeling frisky. Don't be shy. You know you want it. Everyone's lining up to take a bite. Even Grandma said it was the best thing to ever slap her in the mouth, because nothing slaps you in the mouth quite as hard as Uncle Dave's Sausage. So, folks, in the heat of the night or the light of the day, when your cravings for meat just won't go away, don't settle for Slim or some flimsy old link. Get Uncle Dave's Sausage. It's thicker than you think. Available now only at the carnival. Bring a friend or two. Uncle Dave's Sausage, the sausage you can't say no to. Dave, I was meaning to ask you about your hat, and what is it that you're showing us?
This is a great book. I'm almost done with it. About the Karen Reed trial by Howie Carr. Howie Carr is a famous columnist here. He writes for the Boston Herald. He's has his own podcast. And I'm almost done with this. I've really been into this. It's about the Karen Reed trial and the Sandra Birchmore trial. It's a great read, everybody. It's called Mass Corruption. And
Nice.
I recommend it. Yep. I recommend it. It's a great book. Thank you, Brittany, for letting me read it.
Absolutely.
And it's, great book. And I'm almost, believe it or not, I'm almost done. I've been reading it for the last 4 days. So anybody out there was in the Karen Reed trial, Mass Corruption, great book.
And Dave, now, is that a new hat?
It is. This is a new hat. Thank you, courtesy to my crime family, Girls Gone Bible. Of course, my two girls, they're not far behind. They're right with me. I've been reading a few passages over the weekend, and they're always next to me. I had a dream the other night, but I don't want to go into it. I just don't want to go into it.
Oh, never mind. I was going to say if it asked if it had a happy ending.
Well, it was some type
Daddy.
of never.
Well,
never
dreams.
mind.
I was in the context of a dream. Dream's either a nightmare or it's a good dream. It has a happy ending.
Well, in the dream, it was Ari was, how she does with that microphone, and then she gets under the microphone. Well, she wasn't using the microphone in the dream.
Oh.
Oh,
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, guys. And if you're watching us for the first time on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We're available on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, a whole bunch of audio platforms. Thank you, as always, for your support. Truly appreciate it. But this week, we're covering a crime that happened within the past few weeks. Actually, the crime itself happened on December the 30th, so not even 3 weeks ago. So Brittany's going to give you a brief synopsis, and then we're all going to talk about it. This one's a stumper, not so much for who did it, but why they did it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. Yeah, this is really recent. In the early morning hours of December 30th, 2025, Columbus, Ohio was rocked by a devastating double homicide. Spencer, and I don't know if I'm saying this last name right, Tepe?
I think Tepe, yeah.
Tepe. Spencer Tepe, 37, a respected local dentist, and his wife, Monique Tepe, 39, were found shot to death inside their Wineland Park home after concerned friends and coworkers requested a wellness check when Spencer failed to show up for work. Their two young children, ages 4 and 1, were inside the house at the time but were unharmed. Police found no signs of forced entry or theft, and no weapon was recovered at the scene, leading investigators to conclude this was a targeted killing rather than a random act or murder-suicide. As the investigation unfolded, authorities focused on Monique's ex-husband, Michael David McKee, a 39-year-old vascular surgeon from Chicago. McKee and Monique had been married in 2015, but their relationship was brief. They separated after only about 8 months and finalized their divorce in 2017. The couple had no children together. Family members later reported that Monique had previously expressed fear of McKee and alleged that he had emotionally abused and threatened her during their marriage, although these past allegations were not part of formal charges in the homicide case. Columbus police released surveillance footage from the neighborhood showing a person of interest walking in an alley near the Tepe home in the early morning hours around the time of the murders. Investigators also identified a vehicle linked to McKee that was seen arriving in the area shortly before the killings and leaving afterward. This vehicle was later located in Rockford, Illinois, and traced to McKee, providing a critical lead for law enforcement. Additionally, a firearm recovered from McKee's residence was preliminarily matched to ballistic evidence connected to the crime scene. After nearly 2 weeks of investigation, McKee was arrested on January 10th, 2026 in Rockford and booked into the Winnebago County Jail on 2 counts of murder, which were soon upgraded to aggravated murder by Ohio authorities. While in Illinois, McKee waived his right to extradition hearing, agreeing to be transferred to Ohio to face prosecution. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges, and his next court appearances are expected to progress through the Ohio legal system. The case has drawn public attention not only for its brutality, but also for its implications around domestic violence and threat behaviors. Family, friends, and community members continue to mourn Spencer and Monique, described as devoted parents and beloved members of their community, while supporting the couple's children as they cope with an immense loss. This is brutal.
Yeah, and what do you guys sent me this picture? Brittany, it was you, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
And to the right is McKee and Monique, and to the left is Spencer and Monique. And you can just tell the difference. The one on the right is so posed, and the one on the left, they really look like they're in love with each other.
Absolutely. You can tell the difference in photos for sure.
Now, these people were married in 2015. I think they were actually together for 7 months, and then they separated, and then the divorce was final in 2017. So, like 8+ years ago. They, I believe, they both went to Ohio State. He was studying to be a doctor, and then when they graduated, I guess they got married after that. Moved to Virginia, I think, to Roanoke. And he went to medical school, and they were in Roanoke for a while. But I guess that's when they split up. She went back to Ohio. He stayed in Virginia. And there's no history of stalking at all. What do you guys think? Brittany, you start.
I read a rumor that for the first time ever, he saw their wedding video apparently on Facebook. I don't know whether a friend shared it with him or a family member or somebody, but he had never seen her second marriage wedding video before. And the rumor has it that that's what set him off. I don't know if this is true or not, but if that's it, that would kind of, will not make sense, but you know what I'm saying? Would kind of, I guess, it just didn't come from nowhere after almost, 9 years? The guy just waits 9 years and then goes and kills his ex-wife and her husband. I don't understand really how a wedding video could do that either. I don't. Obviously there's something wrong with him, seriously wrong with him. But boy, was he harboring some feelings, huh?
Right. Dave, what do you think?
Well, I got a couple thoughts. First, why do you gotta fuck with the kids? Why do people gotta fuck with kids?
Well, I think there was a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, I think they had together.
The same with Brian Walsh. Why do you gotta fuck with the kids? Now you left the kids without their parents to grow up. Because, you got to remember today, once these kids grow up, they'll be able to see all this on social media. They'll go back and research it. So, that's my question. Why do you got to fuck with the kids? But the thing is one word, and it goes to what the world champion just said, Brittany Brown. And it's a one word, and it's a very powerful word that overcomes people, and it's called hate. People just have so much hate in them. That's why, read Girls Gone Bible. Join a church. Join something that you can read. Get some, what do you call, the word I'm looking for, structure. Because people are walking around with so much hate in them today. And I guess that's what the way I look at this is because they were divorced for so long. They had no kids. From what I heard, though,
7 months. They were together 7 months.
But from what I heard, though, the court system acts. Did you hear about this? The court system accidentally sent something to his residence saying that she was bringing him back into court again. It was a mistake by the court system.
Oh boy, when was that?
Yeah, you didn't hear.
Oh,
Yeah, you didn't see that. Yeah, so it was a mistake by the court system, by the clerk of courts, that they sent out paperwork to him saying for a court date that his wife was bringing him back in the court.
Oh,
Yeah, look that up. Yeah, look that up. It's something to do with the courts. The courts made a big error there, and they're trying to keep it hush hush. But the court system there. But even so, nonetheless, I mean, and another thing that fascinates me is with people like Brian Walsh and this guy. Like, why do you want to go to prison? You're going to get caught. You're going to get caught.
Do you not know that you're going to? This is 2025. Or now it's 26. But do you not know that you're going to get caught?
There's too many cameras. There's too many cell phone towers. There's too many. There's cameras everywhere. They can follow you 2 miles down the road, back and from everybody's businesses' cameras. Why do you want to go to jail for the rest of your life? I don't get that. That fascinates me because, like Brian Walsh, like these guys have never been in jail before. Now you're going to jail for the rest of your life. I don't get that. I don't just hate. Yeah. It all goes back to that one word. Hate.
You know, I try to put everything, you try to think from all the different angles. Now, if I'm this guy, he's a vascular surgeon. The guy's got to be pulling in, what, $250,000, $500,000 a year? You are a single doctor with no, wasn't paying alimony, no child support. You have money out the ass. You have your freedom. You have it. Why would you ruin it? Why not you enjoy your life? I mean, you could have anything you wanted. I'm sure. I mean, there's got to be women wanting a single doctor. I don't think he ever moved on. I mean, did he? I didn't see anything as far as did he ever date like after the marriage.
Yeah, makes you wonder, huh?
Listen. I have 2 daughters, as everybody knows, and I was separated from the mother. And believe me, there were a lot of trying times, but not once did it ever cross my mind to hurt anybody, because I don't want anything to hurt my kids. You know what I mean? And
right.
I think you're gonna. And the one thing we don't know is the motive. Really, I mean, if they said something about the court system, and you guys can look that up when the show ends, but they're being very hush-hush about it right now as far as the motive. I think you're going to learn a lot more once it goes to court. But right now they're being very, very quiet and hush-hush about the motive and what went on.
Wow.
Now, and at 2:30 in the morning, don't you want to be home? Like, I don't want to be out at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Now in September, I found this out today. He was working in Las Vegas. And he was a defendant in a malpractice lawsuit. And I guess it was September the 30th, which would have been exactly 3 months before the murders. They attempted to serve him at his residence. And the guy who served him said he could hear the TV, but then, nobody answered. And then the next time he knocked on the door, he heard the TV, and then the TV went off and nobody came to the door. And then this guy tried this a number of times. By the time he went to the guy's job, I think it was the 9th of October, they said, we don't know where he is. So he had disappeared, which, I mean, you're talking about like a vascular surgeon. You're not talking about like, a labor-ready employee. This is, a upper six-figure guy, professional. To be a vascular surgeon, you have to be incredible.
Yeah. And, and just MIA.
And they say, well, he didn't harm the kids, but he did harm the kids because
sure he did.
I'm assuming when you shoot somebody, it's a very loud bang, isn't it? It didn't scare the kids. I mean, the kids must have been scared.
He supposedly had silencers, but still, I mean, I think when a friend actually discovered the bodies. Well, first thing, I think the husband, Spencer, his employer, called the police and said he didn't show up, and that's not like him at all. And I've tried to reach his wife. I can't get anybody, and he was alarmed because the guy was, solid. And that's when I guess a friend of theirs went into the house, and he's the one that found the body as he was calling 911. And you can hear those kids in the background, and they were terrified.
Oh,
so yeah, I mean those kids are like emotionally damaged for life, of course. How do you recover from that?
That's awful.
No. Have they ever said how the guy got in the house? Like, they haven't said that either.
No, that was one of my questions too. Like there were no signs of forced entry. Yeah, but somehow he got in. I can't imagine. There's no way he had a key. He'd have no reason to have a key.
No, and I'll tell you too. This is one case where you got to stop and put the brakes on, because I'm guilty of this. I really thought it was one of the dentists. Something happened with one of the dentists and his clients, or somebody, because they had a lot of parties. Somebody in their inner circle, something happened and killed them. So I have to plead ignorance here, because I was rushing to judgment. I said, I thought it was definitely something to do with the husband's business, him being a dentist. But I was wrong, and that's a good. Don't be rushed to judgment till you get all the facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, obviously, when there's a murder, one of the first people they focus on is an ex, right? But in this case, it wasn't like they lived, 2 blocks away or even in the same state. I mean, he was in Vegas. She was in Columbus, Ohio, right? The home of Frankie Williams. Remember Frankie Williams?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
The great.
I mean, the first thing, if you're going to do this stuff, leave your phone at home, because they just ping your phone. They can ping your phone.
Well, buy a burner phone, and then
exactly.
You don't even have to. I don't even think you have to use your phone for them to ping it. I think they can just ping you.
No, I believe as long as it's on, it can be tracked. I believe so.
And your location is on. They can just ping your phone. I mean,
but like
stupid Brian, Walsh. He was
yeah. 2.0 says there's a lot of digital footprints. Yes, and Big Brother is always watching. Amen.
Yeah, right. I mean, same with Brian Walsh. You bring your phone wherever you go, you bunch of idiots. Your phone can be pinged. Stupid.
It's crazy.
And I believe they found a gun in his home that matches, whatever gun was used. I mean, he's nailed 9 ways to Sunday. Like I said, I can't imagine, and I don't think they're going to use an insanity. I don't see how he could possibly plead insanity. He's a damn doctor, right? And he had the wherewithal to drive from, I think he was in Elgin, Illinois, somewhere in Illinois, all the way to Columbus. You buy a silencer, do the deed and drive back. So you can't be insane and do that. I'm sorry.
No, definitely not.
And they have that much hate that you go through all this trouble to drive to 2:30 in the morning. I'm sleeping, man. I ain't getting up to go kill nobody. I'm sleeping. I need my 8 hours of sleep.
Nothing bad. Nothing bad happens after 2:30. Well, nothing bad outside the house happens after 2:30.
I mean, look at this face. Mrs. P, Denise, look at the face. There's no wrinkles. Know why there's no wrinkles? Look at no wrinkles, because I need my 8 hours sleep. I get my 8 hours sleep every night. I ain't going murdering anybody at 2:30 in the morning. I need my sleep.
It's perplexing because, and they said that this is weird. His Nevada medical license had expired in June of 25.
Oh,
but he still had a valid Illinois medical license. So was he planning on leaving anyway, or like, why would you let your medical license expire? I mean, that's your livelihood.
Right. Unless he was planning yeah, was he no longer going to practice in Vegas and didn't bother, paying for the renewal because he knew he wasn't going to practice there? I don't know.
Right. I think
Thank you,
Dave's
Denise.
right.
Thank you, Denise. I needed that boost.
Yes, she said you look great, Dave.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it pays to lead a wholesome life. Get your 8 hours. Don't murder anybody.
And I'm on a diet now. I really need everybody out there's support. I'm on a diet. The Genius and Terrible Tory have put me on a diet. I started shots. I'm not a private person. I'll tell you. I've started that Mararo. What's it called? Manjaro shots. I've been eating right.
I've never
The
heard
hardest
of that.
part.
Manjaro?
Huh?
What's the name of it?
What's the name of it, there,
Manjaro?
Patty? Brittany. Manjaro.
Yeah, it's like Wegovy or what? I think there's two other names that it goes under.
Yeah, what's it called? Zep something.
I mean, it sounds like manja. Why would you make a drug sound manja?
I know.
Yeah, well, I'm on this journey now, so I'm on a journey. You know what it's like there, Playa, to be on the journey. So I'm on a weight loss journey. I want to be around to see my grandson graduate high school, and my granddaughter who will be graduating next year pretty soon. And so I'm on this journey now. Hopefully, it's murder at night. It's murder though. The hardest part is at night when. As I was telling the women's champion there, it's the eating's not the hard part. The hard part is not eating. I can adapt to that. It's at night when you want that sweet snack. You want that candy. You want that pudding. You want that sweet snack. That's the hardest part about it. So I went and got some, some Jell-O. That's got no sugar in it and stuff like that. So that's the hardest part at night. But I'm on the journey anyways. I wanted to share with everybody out there.
I'm with you. Like I've been on diets, many times in my adult life. And I don't have a problem. The only problem I have is like the last 2 hours before bed, because that's when I get the craving. That's when I want what I shouldn't have to eat, and then of course that's the worst time to eat it, because you're gonna go to sleep with a full belly and your metabolism slows down. So
what do you do at night? What do you do at night, Player? What do you do for a snack? Like if you need what do you eat?
I really don't. If I really, believe it or not, the last time I eat is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah. If I eat at 7. Let's see, 7, 10. 1, maybe 4, 7, 10, 1, and 4. And then if I were to be hungry, but they're smaller meals, they're not big meals. If I do get hungry, I have some Oikos, Oikos. I don't have any right now, but Oikos Pro. It's about 100 calories, high protein. I think it's got 15 grams of protein, and their vanilla is very tasty. And I mean, 100 calories isn't going to break you. It's the 1,000 calorie slice of cheesecake that will.
Right. I went out and got the Greek yogurt. I haven't had any yet. I got the Greek yogurt, that special Greek yogurt. It's a sugarless Greek yogurt. I haven't tried it yet because I ain't a yogurt guy, but I'm determined I have to lose some weight. And the Genius is going to get married, so I got to look like superstar Billy Graham when I walk her down the aisle and dance with her at her wedding. But I'm determined, and I just wanted to share that with everybody. And I just started this journey, and see what happens.
Nice.
You've got this. We're with you, and anytime you need support, you call us.
Yeah,
we're there for you.
I appreciate it. Do you have the phone number to Ari? Does she have a phone number? Do you know that you can call her at night for support on this? Although I did call her,
I'm sure that would be helpful.
I was with her the other night. In my dreams, we were together. You know.
Right. Well, yeah.
Dave, I do have a question. Will you be wearing the boa that you're wearing right now at the wedding?
I don't know. I don't know. Probably just it's like right now I'm just taking baby steps. You know what I mean? But I haven't got that far as the attire goes. The bows, as you know, I'm very what do you call the eccentric sometimes. But I haven't got that far.
Flamboyant. I like that word.
Yep, flamboyant. I haven't got that far yet. We'll see what happens. Ari, I need a date if you're watching. You know, if,
well, that'd be a good way to burn the calories off, right? She'll keep you going.
There you go.
Yes, and I'll be sure to bring a microphone with me too.
You know, now this has been my experience though. Is you really, I mean, you gained weight a little bit at a time. And you kind of have to lose it the same way that you gained it, because your body is very smart. You know, if you're trying to trick your body, you can. It's like when you take a ball with a dog and you do this and it starts running, and then it turns around and it looks at you like, what the fuck? Like that's the same thing with your body. Like you can temporarily fool it, but then it turns around and says, what the fuck? So you really just got to be. You don't have to go crazy. You don't like starve yourself, because you don't want to do that. If you do that, eventually one day you're just gonna, you're gonna raid the fridge and it's gonna be all over. You just need to be consistent, and and every once in a while eat something that you want, because again, if you don't do that, you can only deprive yourself for so long. I mean, and that's always for me.
I kind of know what I'm doing. I used to, work out. I was in the gym. I was a wrestler. I used to. I was in good shape, but
you're in great shape.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just eliminating the pizzas and the burgers and the white bread and the rice and the potatoes, and just eating in moderation, and having a nice protein shake for lunch, and then I'm gonna Fire Life, I think it's called, and just eating right. I'll get there. I'll be an animal pretty soon.
Yeah.
When is the Genius's wedding date?
Their target date is October of 2027.
All right, so you got some time there. You got, about well over a year and a half.
Well, I'm trying to have them get a Halloween wedding, but they're not going for that. So, I that would be a dream wedding for me, Halloween.
But yes.
Well, you and Ari can save that date.
Yeah.
Maybe you can have a double wedding.
Yeah.
You and Ari.
You never know.
Yeah.
Hey, if Killer Kowalski can get married, anybody can get married, because I never thought in a million years that Killer Kowalski, you'd have to know him. You'd have to know him to right world champion. You'd have to know him to understand what I'm saying. Who would have ever thought Killer Kowalski would ever get married?
And how old was he when he got married? He was not a spring chicken, right?
I think 75, maybe.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I'm laughing because God rest his soul. Because knowing him the way I know him, I just can't picture him. Well, I can't picture him going home to his wife and sleeping with her, and you just got to know this guy. You know what I mean? And I still can't. I can't believe it. He thinking back, I just still can't believe he got married.
I know.
Did you know the woman that he married?
Yes.
I didn't, but the world champion did. She can tell you about her. So I know of her, but
Brittany, as a female, like, what do you think about this woman? Like, what did she have that hooked him?
I do not know. A lot of people liked her. I found her to be very standoffish. Back when I promoted, we hired Walter multiple times to come and do autographs, and he brought her, and she just sat there with a puss on and didn't speak to anybody and just took the money. So
really,
that's what I saw.
the old personality like a dead moth kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And, knowing that I was not only his student, but a very close personal friend to the point where he was almost like a second father to me. And then she comes in the picture and just completely ignores me, basically, and everybody else. It wasn't just me, it was everybody. It was really shocking.
Did she try? Now, I don't mean to be personal here. Did she try to like maybe kind of push him away from his friends? It almost sounds like that.
In a way, I feel like she pushed him towards the paydays.
Right.
So if that means, not spending time with friends and not going out like you used to, okay. But I mean, to come to a show with 1,000 people there and just like she was a machine. She was just taking the money, not smiling, not talking to anybody, nothing. It was very strange. The whole thing was very strange.
I mean, I never met the man, and I only know about him what you folks have told me. But it seems like somebody like that, quiet, humble man, would want somebody who was like very warm and very outgoing, and kind of like maybe kind of the opposite of him,
right?
Very, very friendly, and somebody that would really, bring out the best in him. And it doesn't sound like that's what he married.
No, I heard nothing good about. I have to be perfectly honest with you. I've got a lot of friends in the wrestling business, and everyone I talk to, no one's had a good word to say about. I haven't ran across anybody had anything good to say about it. Not one person.
How long was he married to her before he passed?
I would say 8 to 10 years.
8 to 10 years. Now, how old was he
somewhere
when he passed
around
away?
there? They were together.
Yeah. He was right about 80 or low 80s he was when he died?
Yeah. Yeah,
Jeez,
early 80s.
With his regimen, with all his being a vegetarian and like his training and everything, I would have pictured him living to 110.
Oh, definitely.
You
Definitely.
know what?
I was shocked.
You can be a vegetarian. That don't mean nothing. You know what? It's your genes. Yeah, being a vegetarian helps.
Yeah,
eating right.
Right.
Eating right helps. It's your gene. It's your gene. That's what it comes down to. Your genes. That's my opinion. Anyways.
Yeah, I agree.
I bet Ari looks good in jeans, Dave. What do you think?
Oh, I'll tell you one thing. I was watching a couple videos.
I think she looks better without jeans.
I was watching a couple of videos today because I needed some inner motivation, I had some feelings going on inside my body. So I don't want to say where on my body, but I had some feelings going on. So I watched it today, and the way that girl handles a microphone is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. But I did listen to her, what she had to say too. She's a very, very inspirational.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they do like an actual Bible study? I haven't watched any of their shows. Is that what they do, or is it just a podcast?
Well, they have a podcast. They have a podcast, and they are on like Instagram, and they, it's just a podcast. And then they go on tour. They have their tour. They do tours, and they do personal Instagrams. Not Instagram. Yeah, Instagram. That's what I'm on.
They're doing cameos. They're making bank.
Yeah. But whatever gets you through the day, whatever. Like the dream I had the other night was powerful, very powerful.
Whatever you should repeat that same routine, like whatever you ate that night, and like eat it at the same time. Like just follow the exact same routine. Maybe you'll have the same dream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thought.
Yes, I had to do my bed sheets the next day, but another dream. Like, yeah, I mean, I got to tell the truth. I'm an upfront guy. I tell the truth.
Very transparent. Yeah.
Well, I had to do my bed sheets because there was time to do them.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You guys got some bad thoughts there.
I got to ask you guys, because I mentioned the word cameo, and we haven't talked about this. This is a surprise to you guys. We haven't really talked about this, but I wanted to get your opinion on, and I don't know how much you know about it, Ric Flair. Ric Flair is charging out the yin yang for cameos, but the problem is, and that's not a problem. I mean, he's allowed to charge whatever he wants, and if somebody's going to pay it, that's on them. But there's one where somebody asked the guy's father absolutely loved Ric Flair, and he paid Flair $600, and the father's name was Buff, and Flair called him Barth. That was one. And there was another one where somebody gave a cameo to his friend. They paid like $1,000. It was a wedding present. And Ric Flair did the cameo at a restaurant, completely shit-faced, and telling the guy not to get married.
Right.
And he called him an MFer.
That's the one I saw.
You don't want to get married, and you're stupid. Like, all they're going to do is take your money. The exact opposite of what. Now, to me, that's a crime. Because you took money in good faith, and you did not perform what you were supposed to perform to get that money.
That's right.
Well, go ahead, Dave.
Two observations on that one. Number one, I've always been like this anyways. I ain't paying nobody $1,000 for nothing. I've never, like, Bruno Sammartino was my hero growing up. And maybe if I was a kid, like maybe if I really wanted to meet him and give him money, but as an adult, I don't worship athletes. I don't worship people that I would give them my money for stupid shit like that. So number one, that's just stupid shit. But Ric Flair is an embarrassment. Like, he was such a fantastic wrestler, and he's just he's an alcoholic. He's an embarrassment. His legacy is an embarrassment. The things that he does, the videos he puts up. One video I seen him fighting with some guy in a bar room. The guy was going after him because they started an argument. Come on. He's an embarrassment.
I think
I agree.
Turned 77. He's not a young guy. I mean,
it's like, he's an embarrassment. It's unfortunate because he was such a great wrestler.
Well, and the sad thing is, I think, all the younger people, like, we still have memories of Flair as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion in the 80s. And I mean, I was never a fan of him, probably because I was such a fan of Bruno. But even though I wasn't really a fan of him per se, I did really admire how he dressed, his interviews. And I mean, the guy worked an unbelievable schedule for years that nobody else wanted to work. I think Terry Funk supposedly gave up the championship because it was destroying his marriage. And of course, Flair didn't give a shit about that because there was always another wife around the corner,
Right.
I mean, but I think he's going to be remembered because of this now.
I know.
Yeah. And it's just, it's too bad because, look at Terry Funk. You ever see him in bar rooms? You ever see him making stupid videos? I mean, it just, I guess you're going to live the life you want, but at some point you got to get it together. You know what I mean?
How about Bruno? Once Bruno was out of wrestling, he was pretty much like out of the limelight, period.
Yeah.
You heard very little about him unless he was making some kind of an appearance.
Well,
yeah, you're right.
The thing with Ric Flair is he's still trying to live what he thinks he is. That's the problem with him. He's trying to keep this image up. He still thinks he's one of the four horsemen. Those days are over. Yep. They're gone. They're gone. It's over. And I have to say, the video I saw of him in a bar room, and this guy was going to pop him one. This guy wanted to pop him one. Was a total embarrassment. Like total.
Yep.
And I think, did you see that one, Brittany?
I did.
I think they ran him out of the restaurant.
He's gotten thrown out of restaurants before too. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, what are you doing? Really? I mean,
that's sad.
And to take
it is.
I agree with you completely, Dave. For somebody to spend if I'm going to buy somebody a wedding gift and I'm going to spend $1,000, I'm going to buy something that they can use for years. I'm not going to give it to a drunk for literally a 1-minute cameo that he I guess I don't know how cameos work. From what I understand, you get like the person who's doing the cameo gets notes. Like this cameo is blah blah blah, and he pretty much, instead of most of these guys, they'll read the notes and then get an idea what they're going to say, and they'll do the cameo. Flair actually just turns his phone on and reads the notes, and that's pretty much the cameo. And which I mean, you're charging a lot of money. I really feel like you're really. I mean, he's got a long history of screwing people over for money, and this is just the icing on the cake now.
Yeah. Sad. He's a sad existence.
It is sad.
They'll find him dead in his bed one day. Just like they did Paul.
Right? He's going to make one more appearance, and I think that's what he really wants to do. I think he wants to die in the ring.
Yeah.
Sad.
Well, he almost did in his last match.
Oh, what a disaster that was. I mean, anybody who would have paid to see that. I mean, back in the day, baseball. Remember the old timers games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was great. I mean, I remember in the 60s, I'd see Joe DiMaggio and, all the old Yankee greats. But like Joe DiMaggio, one time he hit a ground rule double into the stands in Yankee Stadium, but it took him about a minute and a half to run to second base. But you didn't really, but you kind of expected that because the guy was like, 50-something years old. And here's Flair like 70-something. And if it was billed as a nostalgia match, and they were going to do it that way, like an old-timers match, then you know what to expect. But, he billed it as a competitive wrestling match. And I think who was in it? Andrade and Jay Lethal, who are legitimate, like, good wrestlers. And you can't keep up with somebody half your age when you're almost, 75. It ain't happening.
Oh, my God. It was awful.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's just a washed-up alcoholic, is basically what he is. A washed-up alcoholic old man,
But he's very fortunate, though. He can turn on his phone 3 or 4 times a day and make a couple of grand.
Yeah, but who's going to buy them now? After those 2 videos everybody knows about those now. Who's going to buy them now?
I guess he said you can contact my attorney to get a refund. And I what's the guy's name? Is it Carrie Silken? The guy who owned TNA. I think that's his name, Carrie Silken. Because I was listening to it. I don't know. I was listening to it. Yeah, I believe he owned TNA, and this is years ago, paid Flair so many $1,000s to do so many different appearances. And Flair made I think it was like 7 appearances, and he was giving him 10 grand an appearance, which is nice payday, right? And Flair did about 3 of them, and then he decided he didn't want to do them anymore. But the Silken made the mistake of paying him in advance, and so eventually, when Flair didn't give him the money back, he went to an attorney, and what he was told is, we can do this for you, but you're going to be like about number 101 in line for people that Ric Flair owes money to.
Wow.
That's a shame. That's a shame, because another guy that used to do stuff like that was Kurt Hennig. He was another piece of shit that used to take money from promoters and never show up for his match because he's high on coke.
Yep.
I don't get it. Yeah. I mean, you have this phenomenal ability to make money just doing your thing. Like, why would you mess with it?
I know.
Thank you, Mrs. P, for that advice as far as the fruits and vegetable goals. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh.
You
have favorite fruits and veggies, Dave?
In the morning I try to have some something like right now I'm having like some Cheerios with blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries in it.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah, blackberry, the best fruit you can eat is blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries.
Antioxidants.
Yep, and they're the lowest in the sugar for fruits. Okay. So I have that in the morning. I haven't gotten to the store yet because I had a consultation with my doctor, obviously, and he said, "Well, we do, Dave, us doctors, because we have an hour for lunch. We used to go out and eat, and then the rest of the day would drag on." He said, "What we do now is we go get that. I think I'm saying it right. Brittany will say that True Life high
True
protein
Life.
drink, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they have one for their lunch, and that's what they have for lunch. And you go home and you have a nice little protein steak or fish or chicken with a vegetable. That's what they do. So I'm gonna once the cereal runs out, I'll go get some high protein shakes.
Well, no, I haven't. What is it called? I have not heard of that. True Life. Have you had it, Brittany?
Yes.
You familiar with it?
Yes. Yeah, I've seen it in the supermarkets. Yeah. And then when Dave told me about his doctor, I looked it up and sent him a copy of it so he wouldn't forget the name when he went to buy it.
Now, is it in powder form and you mix it up?
No, it's right in the bottle.
Okay. True. I gotta next time I go into the store to.
And I didn't know about it. My doctor told me. He says that's what all us doctors have for lunch here. Instead of going out for lunch and having the rest of the day drag on, we just have one of these shakes and that's it.
Dave, you sound a lot like me. I think your biggest obstacle, because it was always mine, was the late night eating. If you can eat and you don't want to eat after a certain time. Like I said, I do 4 o'clock. You can do even like 5, 6 o'clock. You really have to make the cutoff at 6 o'clock and then just not eat anything. And if you can do that, I think you're well on your way.
Yeah, I don't eat big meals after at 5. After 5, I'm done. It's just like I said, it's the late night, puddings and Hershey bars and just that, or a piece of cake or cheesecake. And so, I've gotten the shot, so I'm motivated. The genius gave me my first shot Saturday, so she'll be giving me the shots every week. So, and if I'm taking the shots, I'm in. I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
What do the shots do? Is it an appetite suppressant or what?
Yeah, it helps you. Well, I'm on a low dose, so they start you at 2.5 milligrams because I want to make sure your body gets acclimated. There's no side effects. And once you're on it, I think after a month, they keep going up on the milligrams. So I'm on the low dose right now. So I guess according to the doctor, what this is supposed to do, according to him, is after a while you're not even going to want to eat. Like not want to eat, but not want. You're not going to want to have all this food. You're not going to have your appetite. That's what it does. So once it goes up in the milligrams, so I'm on the low dose. They'll go up, see how it goes, go up, and then after each month, I believe it might go up. I don't know how high they go up, but what it does is it suppresses your appetite, helps you lose weight. And actually, it's good for. I'm not a diabetic, but if you're a diabetic, it's good for diabetes too.
Okay.
So if you're a diabetic, but so let's see how the journey goes.
Now, how often are you going to weigh yourself?
What's that?
How often will you weigh yourself?
I'll probably weigh myself. See, this is one of the things they told me not to do. Don't always constantly weigh yourself.
Thank you. That's why I asked that. Yeah.
Don't constantly weigh yourself. Weigh yourself once every couple weeks.
Right. Twice a month. That's
right.
Beginning and the middle of the month.
Right. So my goal is 25 pounds. Just take baby steps, and after you lose 25, you go to the next step. So that's what I'm trying to do.
You should, are you on a certain number of calories per day?
Oh yeah, you got low cal, high protein. Yeah.
All right. So how many calories? 1,200, 1,500, 1,500 maybe?
Around there. Yeah.
Right.
Around there.
All right. So I'm doing some quick math in my head. You're probably going to lose. You could probably lose 25 pounds in between 2 and 3 months.
And once the good weather hits, start walking. I live in a big complex, start walking. And gradually build. I got bad knees. I got very bad knees from wrestling, and losing this weight will help my knees too. And so once the good weather hits, we'll start walking and low cal, high protein.
All right.
Maybe, yeah. So yeah, that's one thing. Don't always weigh yourself because, if you don't lose what you really want in a certain amount of time, you're gonna just get depressed. So just do the best you can. Weigh yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And your body
I used to
fluctuates
hit,
with water. So you could, you could diet all week and then you could weigh yourself like a week later and you might even be up by a pound. But if you'd waited another week, you're probably down 3 or 4 pounds. So yeah, that's very wise to do that.
Right. I mean, I used to hit, I was in wrestling. I used to, I was in phenomenal shape. I know how this goes, just that, I got lazy the last 15, 20 years, and you're working and you're working and you're overtime and working and you just, it just things go and, and you just got to be disciplined. It's all about discipline.
Yep. No, it's just, kind of just gradually sneaks up on you.
You got to be ready too. You got to be ready.
Yes, correct. Agree.
All right. What I'll do, player, is I'll send you a text on that protein drink. It's good for you. It's high protein.
Please do, because I'm always looking for a new nutritional snack or meal. Is it like a meal replacement?
Yeah, exactly. It's high protein. So, I want to switch off. So what I want to do is one day I might want to have the protein for lunch. The next day I have a late lunch because, with the work I do. So one day I might want to have the protein. The next day I might want to have some Cheerios with blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries in it. Next day have another shake, change up.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
No, it's a very good idea. Keep your body guessing there.
Right. Tonight I had a nice little steak with some salad. I made a beautiful salad with some radishes and, tomatoes and nice salad, low-cal dressing, Yeah.
No, some people I'm a big advocate that you've got to every once in a while though eat something that you want to eat. Even though it might be a little bit high in the calories. Like I love carrot cake. Even when I was on a diet, if somebody put a piece of carrot cake under my nose, I was eating it. I would figure out how to compensate the next couple of days to make up for it,
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, you find your own niche. Your own niche. I'll just get started. Maybe on a Saturday, maybe I'll have a hamburger. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a hamburger. But and I haven't knew this about spaghetti. There's a whole section of spaghetti that you can eat because people think, oh, don't have pasta. No, you can have pasta. The genius made me pasta yesterday with some meatballs, turkey meatballs. But there's actually pasta, a whole section of pasta where you can have it's protein pasta. And there's pasta made out of
I used to eat a lot of whole wheat pasta.
Yeah, wheat pasta. There's pasta made out of vegetables, and there's all types of pasta. All type of pasta you can eat. And I never tried this. I don't know if you guys have. I was looking at this plant-based stuff. I don't know what that's all about, but I was looking at all this plant-based sausages and meatballs and chicken patties, hamburgers.
Have you tried them, Brittany?
I have not, but I went out to dinner once with Len Kaplan. Dave, you know him. And he got an Impossible Burger, which is a plant-based burger. And he said it was just as good as any burger he's ever had, ever. So,
see, I've had these like imitation, these plant burgers, and I don't like them. I can taste the difference, but maybe if you go to a restaurant and they, if they make it right, it might be different. But I've gotten them at the grocery store. But the good thing is now if you're watching your weight and you're health conscious, there's so many good options available. You're not going to just starve. There's plenty.
And the one thing too, walk by the deli. Go by the deli. Because I used to eat a lot. I used to love crackers, Polish ham. Used to love, Genoa salami. That stuff has a lot of sodium in it. It's not good for you. And so I've got to learn now to just walk by the deli go to the produce section,
Yep.
So, yeah. But I was looking at a lot of that plant. I'm going to try that plant-based stuff. 'Cause like I said, I was looking at the meatballs, hamburgers, chicken patties, all plant-based. I was looking at that. I haven't tried it yet, but I was looking at it.
It's like anything. The first few weeks are going to be the hardest, just adjusting to the new eating. But I think once you get yourself, after about 3 weeks or so, if you can, gut it out, and you got Ari to help you, lead you spiritually.
We're walking together through this.
Yeah, and you have your friends here to, we're your friends. You can always lean on us, like that song by Bill Withers. Lean on me. You can always lean on us.
Well, yeah,
I know
like
you
I
want to
said,
lean on Ari, but
Guy said I want to be. I love my grandson, and I want to be there for him for when he graduates high school.
All the right reasons, and it's really. I think you're gonna be like 6 months from now. You're gonna look back and you're gonna be amazed. They always Diamond Dallas Page always said, like, take pictures along the way. Like, even if you don't show anybody, but take a picture like the first of every month, maybe like in the same position in the same location. And you just kind of, then you look at them as the months go by, you're going to be amazed at the transformation.
That's a great idea, Ben.
I sent you a picture today. Remember what I'm going to look like in a few months.
I saw that. So the goal is to be in superstar Billy Graham shape, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, without the steroids.
So you can, like every month, maybe you could say, like, I am now in, and then like put in the wrestler's name. I'm now in such and such a shape.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like I'm in Barry Horowitz shape, or whatever.
Yeah. I'm in Lee Wong shape. I don't know if anybody remembers Lee Wong.
Lee Wong from Ecuador or Hong Kong. He had to. That's why he always lost. He didn't even know where the hell he was from. Or I'm in Special Delivery Jones shape. When you get a little bit further down the road, because he was in pretty good shape.
There you go.
Playa, do you want to plug what's going on Thursday night at all, or no?
Yeah, why not? Why not? So we are all going to be on the Classic Pro Wrestling with the WFIA show on the Playa Entertainment Network. Please like and subscribe. Hosted by Chris DiCarlo, along with Mike DiGregorio and yours truly. And this is the 4th Hollywood Squares episode. So there are a total of 9 people on the show, and we're 3 of them. So now, did you have a favorite Hollywood Square, like that you would want to be?
Oh,
like a celebrity?
Yeah, like like when you watched it back in the day, did you have a favorite?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Paul Lynde. I love Paul Lynde.
Paul Lynde was
absolutely.
I always prayed that the person would pick Paul Lynde because he always came up with a great line. Now, how about you?
Well, I'm going to tell you something about that. I think I might have told Brittany this.
You did.
I did. I saw a documentary on this. On the Hollywood Squares, they always had a set of, because you know how Paul Lynde used to always come up with those fast jokes for whatever they asked him.
Yep.
Well, they had a set of answers for him, questions for him set aside personally for him, and he saw those before the show, and that's how he came up with the jokes for the questions so fast. So he already knew what the questions were going to be when the contestants asked for him.
All right, so he wasn't really that clever. I mean, he was clever, but he had some time to prepare his answers.
Right. They were still funny. I mean, they were still,
he delivered them with perfection.
Yeah, absolutely. And Peter Marshall played the sidekick. He went along with it.
He was a straight man, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nick Bockwinkel was on that show one time as a contestant when he was young.
Was he really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Brittany, who was your favorite?
Paul Lynde.
Yeah. I got
absolutely.
Agree. By far, he was my favorite.
Yep.
I wasn't
he was my favorite.
Charlie Weaver didn't do anything for me. He was he was right most of the time, but I don't know. Wally Cox, I did kind of like Rose Marie.
I liked her too.
Rose Marie was funny.
She was good.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she was good. She was funny.
That was a great show. Yeah. Like, I mean, back in the day, you think back of all these great game shows we had, all the good sitcoms, and even the variety shows like Glenn Campbell, the Smothers Brothers, Andy Williams, Ed Sullivan. I mean, all those great shows. We were really lucky. I mean, now there's 8 gazillion channels, and there was better stuff back then with like 5 channels.
Right?
Yeah, Sonny and Cher.
Oh, Sonny and Cher, yeah, another
That
one.
was my favorite.
Even my mom loved Tom Jones. He had a weekly show for a while there on ABC.
Yeah. Does anybody ever remember the Mac Davis show? Remember Mac Davis?
Yes.
Yep.
Baby, don't get hooked on me.
Yep.
Very good, Benny.
Yep.
Maybe I should sing that to Ari. I don't want her to get hooked on me, you know?
Ooh.
'Cause I'll just use you and I'll set you free, right?
Absolutely. Charlie Rich. You remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Silver Fox, the most beautiful girl.
Yeah.
Sad
Yep,
song.
I know
Really
that
sad
song.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Great music. Great music.
Yeah. Even that. Like I think everything was better back in the day, but you know, what do we know?
Engelbert,
I
what's
know, I
his
agree.
drink? No.
Oh, Engelbert. Yeah, my mom loved Engelbert. She loved Tom Jones. She loved all the Italian singers like Jerry Vale, Dean Martin, Sinatra, Jimmy Roselli. But these people were amazing talents. They had such beautiful Robert Goulet. He had such a good voice.
Oh, yeah. Very
Don't
good.
forget Al Martino. My mother loved Al Martino.
Yeah. Even Louis Prima, Che La Luna.
Yeah, Louis Prima.
My mother's favorite was Bobby Vinton.
Oh, Blue Velvet. And then
Yep.
and he sang My Melody of Love, which Ivan Putski would sing during his matches.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And Ivan sang it in Polish. Not very well, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, what is Mrs. P? Yeah, they sang. Yeah, they did. And
yeah.
You know, to me, like music, I compare it to wrestling. You know, back in the day when you guys wrestled, I mean, you told a story. And when these guys sang, you know, there were love songs. There was a story about, you know, the woman cheated on him or she left him or he, you know, he was a jerk. There was always a story. Now, like, there's no stories, either in music or wrestling. Just people doing just gymnastics.
Filthy lyrics, filthy shit, you know, filthy music. You know?
I can't even listen. I mean, I'm stuck in a time warp. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, let's call it a night. It's getting cold in my room here. Jeez. It's going to get down to the mid-30s. I think there was some snow in northern Florida. Not here, though.
Yes, I heard that.
Oh, we're just going to suck when they leave the house at 5:30 in the morning and just all the snow. Come on, spring.
It was so cold that I stayed home from Grandma Sally's, believe it or not. That's how cold it was.
Wow.
Oh, give me a break. How cold? What is it there?
It was 37.
Oh, my God. 37 and no snow?
When you live in Florida, you adjust, right? I mean, I grew up in New York. I lived in Minnesota for 4 years. But, like, being here, you adjust. So, like, you're used to waking up on Christmas and being 65 on Christmas morning.
Right.
And then when it hits like 30 something, your body's in shock. It's like, what the hell, man?
I'm sure.
When you lived in Minnesota, did they have the Mary Tyler Moore statue yet?
I don't think so. I'll tell you what, though, I wasn't there when Prince died. I think I had already moved back to Florida, but I came back to visit, and there was like maybe within a few months after he died, and there was like about 1,000 bouquets of flowers on one of the streets in Minneapolis. Because, you know, he was a hometown boy.
Yeah. Yep.
And he would occasionally, you know, there were a lot of like local clubs that, you know, played, you know, local bands and stuff like that. And every once in a while he would just show up unannounced and play with them.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He was, I mean, very, very, very loved in Minnesota.
I bet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very much so. All right, guys. Well, thank you to everybody. Denise, Mrs. P. Who we got? JMB. We got Jason. We had Chris DiCarlo. Who else? Make sure we're not missing anybody here. I think that's pretty much it. And Cooper, all the way from Greece, Athens, Greece. Cooper 17. Thank you. And so, guys, thank you again. We appreciate your support. I think we've been heard now in 28 different countries worldwide. So,
Nice.
every continent except the North Pole or the South Pole, Antarctica.
Ooh.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
So, folks, have a very nice week, and we will see you next crime. Good night.
Goodbye,
Bye, everyone.
everybody. Bye, Denise. Bye, Mrs. P.
Bye, Mrs. P and
Bye,
Denise.
Dustin.
See you Sunday.
Thank you for your support.